Hello, everyone. This is NYRM 1974 here. And yes, I'm mobile right now because I am doing what I do best, advocate for the right of all to keep and bear arms. It's crazy. I was watching a video from Guns and Gadgets in which some jackass wants to amend the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution. I mean, really? Guess what? Not happening. If you look on YouTube, there's the virtual president in which he talks about gun rights and he talks about the advocacy of gun rights. And though that this is a virtual video, what he says is true when it comes to the aspect of the Second Amendment. And to do any change on the Second Amendment, you basically got to get about 26, 28 states to sign off on that. And I could tell you, a lot of our Southern brothers and sisters are just not going to sign off on that. To do so would be, a dishonor to defending the Constitution in its entirety. That being said, it's not going to happen. And anybody to suggest such should remove him or herself from office because you're violating your oath of office to defend the Constitution. That means you're just a hypocrite. And guess what? I don't subscribe to that. Political correctness versus honest government is something that is, in my opinion, happening right now. Everybody, they look at the situation in Uvalde, Texas, Parkland, Sandy Hook and so forth. And then they use this as a battle cry for gun control. And now they want to go after our constitutionally protected rights. I'm sorry. I'm not going to allow the left to strip my inherent right to keep and bear an arm. I'm sorry. Because once upon a time ago, I swore an oath. I swore an oath to defend the Constitution from all enemies, both foreign and domestic. And let me make this clear. I'll do my part to advocate for my fellow Americans. But the question is, what are you going to do to advocate for your fellow Americans? Because I'm going to oppose any measure that strips me of my inherent right to keep and bear arms. And so should you. So I'm going to tell you, please, join me in opposing any suggestion of an attack on our Constitution, whether it be the Second Amendment, the First Amendment, the U.S. Bill of Rights, you name it. Oppose it. Furthermore, support gun owners of America because they're doing a better job than the NRA. I don't know what's going on with the NRA. They've been sitting behind the wheel and sleeping behind it, rather, and not doing anything to help us. Okay? We finally won the case in New York, and even though the jerks in New York on the left are doing everything in their power to make it more difficult for New Yorkers to be conferred a carry permit outside of their home, which I could tell you it's a bunch of nonsense too. What are they afraid of? What are they afraid of? Ask yourself this. If the Supreme Court made it clear that you have a right to carry a gun outside of your home, that's it. End of story. That's it. Now you want to create sensitive zones. You can't carry a gun on a bus. You can't carry a gun on a train. You can't even sit in a city park having your lunch, feeling a little better that you have the means to protect yourself. But meanwhile, you got all this crime going on in New York City, in the New York City subways and in the New York City streets. And just recently, there was a shooting in the Bronx. I mean, what does it take for these jerks on the left to get it through their heads that you cannot suppress a law-abiding citizen's right to carry a firearm outside of the home as long as they've been investigated, vetted, have training? Okay, we'll take the training. That's not a problem. But 20 hours of training? Are they preparing for war? No, they're just preparing to protect themselves, their family, their neighbors, their community from the garbage that criminals bring to the doorstep. And I'm going to tell you, enough is enough is enough with this garbage. You always want to go after the law-abiding citizen. Mark Robinson couldn't say it any better. We're the first ones taxed and the last ones considered. And you know what? It's true. They never think about us. You go after the police. You want to defund the police. You want to vilify the police. You want to demonize them. And what he said is true. And I say this as a former lawman. They are hamstrung. You got a mayor in New York City that doesn't even support his own police. And quite frankly, he should remove himself from office because he's a bozo the clown. Okay? He's a bozo. And as for the governor of New York, I mean, really? Really? You had no problem swearing an oath to protect the New York State Constitution, which, by the way, under human rights law, clearly states that the right of the people to keep and bear arms in the state of New York shall not be infringed. Now, yet, under our human rights law, we have that provision. And you don't want to defend that? You want to infringe on a New York resident's right to carry a gun in a park or on a bus while going to work or on a train while traveling to a destination. And then you don't even want them in Times Square. I mean, what's going on? Who are you to suppress someone's right to freedom and tranquility, which is protected under our Constitution and the Bill of Rights? I mean, what is going on with the Democratic left? What are they afraid of? You know what they're afraid of? They're afraid of law-abiding citizens exercising their inherent rights. Nothing more, nothing less. Well, let me know what your comments are. Comment below. And here's the link to the virtual president. I found it very interesting, and I hope you do too. And once again, it's a virtual hypothesis, but it was really interesting. Let me know your thoughts on that as well. Train hard and win the fight. God bless America, and God bless the people of the United States. Remember, you are the vanguard of protecting our Constitution, the American citizen. Don't take this matter lightly, because if they're going to go after the Second Amendment, what else are they going to go after? The First Amendment, the U.S. Bill of Rights? What's next? America belongs to the people. Be safe. God bless.